good morning. This is George Kormos, and you're listening to Framed in Jersey, the latest of many podcasts that I've done here with Ming Chen in the beautiful Shared Universe podcast studio. And I'm with my number 2 daughter over here, Emily.
Hi.
So, yeah, we haven't been here in a while. A lot to catch up on. A lot of things going on at the shop. It's actually busy like you wouldn't believe right now. Busier than Christmas.
I think half the stuff is mine.
Half the stuff is Ming. Ming is the global traveler of all things conventions. He really needs his own TV show because he's just everywhere all the time. Are there multiples of you? Because it seems like sometimes you're in New Jersey at the same time.
I wish there were, my friend. I wish there were. No, seriously, there are some days I'm like, why? I wish wish I could be there could be more. Yes.
I'm like, where are you? It's like, oh, I'm here, but I just saw you're on a plane leaving to go somewhere. It's like you're in multiple dimensions.
Yes,
at the
I
same
am.
time.
That is correct.
But with that, he always brings back the most amazing autographed and pop iconic things. We were just laughing about the Bort license plate from The Simpsons on the wall. I probably laughed harder than anybody.
You and me both, my friend.
Yeah,
You and me both.
yeah.
I put little Easter eggs in here just to see who gets it.
Yeah.
And you win.
I win.
You win today. You win today. Do indeed have a full-size Bort license plate. There's a Instagram account called Second Best Pet Shop, and they put out all the ancillary Simpsons items. So there's Bort license plates, or Lionel Hutz attorney at law.
There's some
sponge
stuff from the Leftorium.
There might be stuff from the Leftorium.
Yeah.
You can buy a Gummy Venus de Milo. There, like all these offshoots of stuff.
Pin Pals shirts.
Probably a Pin Pals bowling shirt on there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, what's new at Revere Picture Framing? Well, I'm trying to break in a new employee because I like I said, I'm.
It's gotten that busy. It's always been just you.
I know. I used to have a guy that would help me time to time, and unfortunately, he wanted something. He keeps his toe in the framing business, but he's moved North Jersey, so he went for benefits and 401ks over hanging out with his friend for one day, every other week.
Understandable.
Yeah,
understandable. I guess.
Yeah. So, but. Yeah, I mean, I'm like buried with sports jerseys and Dave Matthews Band posters, and what else do we have? Lots of concert posters, and trying to think of what else. Stretch shadow boxes, and just all kinds of just anything you could possibly think of. That needs to be framed. Everything comes through the door, and I always get excited about it.
I love coming as whatever people are picking up, or it's sitting around. So last thing I saw was a framed Mariano Rivera.
Yeah,
jersey,
many framed
number 42.
Yes, the Sandman.
Yes,
the Sandman.
I'm no Yankee fan by any means, but I do respect the grades.
Yes, yes. And actually, his unofficial business manager brought in a couple of things a couple of years ago on his day of retirement, and she had a picture of Mariano leaning over the rail and kissing her and her daughter, and then she got that signed and the T-shirt that they were giving away that day. So, she was... She had some super cool stuff she brought to me over the years.
That's cool. I think I mentioned this the other day. It's actually right here. I have something. It's something which I feel is unique here, which I can't frame myself. It's that unique.
Right.
But my friend Omar was at the University of Michigan Washington National Championship game in Houston back in January, and I had wanted to go to the game till I saw the ticket prices.
Yeah.
Minimum $4,000. So
Wow.
yeah, it's like, listen, I don't have comic book man money anymore, so I can just drop $4,000 on
Right.
tickets as much as I wanted to be there. And then I had the Walt Flanagan voice in the back of my head, which is always, well, what if you spend all that money and you go all the way down and you watch the game and they lose?
Yeah.
Right. So I didn't want to. I was fearing that as well. So it's like, all right, I'll just watch the game at home and see.
Right.
$4,000 in airfare and all that. But my friend Omar was like, hey, I was there. I got you something, and it's not the business card here. It was 2 business cards taped together, and inside is a piece of the confetti.
Yeah.
That rained down when Michigan won the game
Nice.
at the end.
So now, if you're going to frame that, what you need to do is you need to like kind of frame it on a like maybe a silver background, and then have a picture of the actual confetti dropping at the end.
Yeah.
So that you kind of put that in the context.
Yeah,
you know?
I was looking for photos to put around it,
Yeah.
and maybe like a cutout for sure.
Yeah.
Or,
That's cool.
pretty cool item.
Yeah.
Yeah, unique.
I had something, something small to put in context. We were at San Simeon Hearst Castle in Cambria, California.
Yeah.
And, maybe I can't go back to California anymore. They're going to be waiting for me. But at the foot of these, 1,000-year-old doors that Randolph Hearst collected to put on the front of his mansion, they had terracotta tiles, and one of them was kind of smashed. And I was like, you know what? They probably have a garage full of these to replacement. So I kind of like put my camera down. And I was like pretending to tie my shoe, and I was like,
You picked up
grabbed a piece of the tile to bring home.
You palmed it. Nice.
I palmed it.
Okay.
So so now I kind of, and then I took a picture of it, and I took a picture of us in front, and I kind of wanted to do like a circle with a like a bubble showing where it came from, to say that I actually have a piece of Hearst Castle.
You're like those people who took a piece of the Berlin Wall,
right?
When communism fell,
right? And then they were selling it on eBay for $4,000 a piece, turning them into coffee tables.
Yeah.
So not kind of stuff you would bring home in your carry-on.
Yeah. So I'll be bringing this piece of confetti in, and probably an accompanying photo that it would give some context for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it in my head.
But I love all stuff like that. That's what picture framing is about. It puts you in the moment. What else did we do recently? I went to go see a couple of plays at Two Rivers, and
our local playhouse.
Yeah, and I met Bill Irwin, Mr. Noodle, and I got him to sign a Mr. Noodle thing.
What was the show that?
Elmo's World. He was Elmo's World. He's also.
I remember Mr. Noodle. Yes.
He's also.
That's been a while. My
yes.
kids are old now.
Right. But he was also the main. Yeah, I think he's like the father in How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yeah.
So and he had a small role in My Blue Heaven, and he's just iconic. He's really like a vaudevillian clown, and he does that kind of thing where with the hat and the sleight of hand and everything. And every time I see him in a play or something, he always brings a little bit of the clown into that. And he was wonderful to meet. But I'm that guy that's like pulling out a picture when everybody else is talking, whatever. But I that's the kind of stuff that makes me happy. Just like I know that's the kind of stuff that makes you happy. So
Yeah, I just found out on my way over here. I may have a new piece to bring in.
Oh yeah,
haven't acquired it yet.
Okay,
I'm going to a convention this weekend in Connecticut called Terrificon.
Right
in Connecticut, it'll be at the Mohegan Sun Casino.
Okay,
long running convention. Our friend Mitch Halleck runs it, and he just posted this morning that Keanu Reeves is going to stop by for about an hour and a half. Keanu Reeves has written a comic book called Berserker.
Okay.
That he's promoting. And he's actually, his band Dog Star is performing that night at the other casino, Foxwoods.
Right.
So
I've been there. Yeah.
So he's going to stop by the convention for an hour and a half that morning.
We saw Yanni at Foxwoods, yeah.
Yanni's still alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's gone gray, but
sure.
And he's sans
still got the
Linda
hair?
Evans. Yeah, long white. It might be a little little shorter now, but Yeah, we went to the Foxwoods to see that. It's a nice town. Is it Mystic? Is it out there?
Uncasville.
Okay.
Uncasville. Yeah, the Uncasville is the official town.
Yeah.
But I'm going to see if I can arrive early and get into the signing. They're only limited to the first 100 people.
Oh,
so
all right.
I got to get there early.
So what are you going to have them sign? You going to have them sign the comic book, or you going to have them sign many?
I imagine they're going to limit to just the comic book. I do have a Point Break poster signed by Gary Busey.
Yeah.
And not Giants. A couple other people.
Right.
But he would be the big,
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I can't get Patrick Swayze, unfortunately, but I can.
You can get Keanu. Yeah.
Possibly.
See, I would go for the obvious. The one. I would
Neo.
go for Neo, the Matrix.
The Matrix.
I mean, that's. Yeah, that was groundbreaking when that came out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still blown away by that. It's just such a moment in time. Not only is it's such a great movie, but it's a moment in time for me when I was working in advertising and all was geeked out over it and did a special viewing in like one of the boardrooms and made a whole night out of it.
Yeah.
But it was just so groundbreaking and. That's where I would go. But Point Break is especially since you got Busey on there, man.
Yes.
How is he in person?
Crazy.
Yeah.
He's
as crazy as the legend.
He's crazy. I tried to get him to come out and hang with me.
Yeah.
And he almost came, but he's like, "Nah, I'm just gonna hang out here and smoke a cigar." I'm like, "Okay, dude."
Did you ask?
Just smoked one with him.
Yeah. Did you ask him if he wanted a shot at the title?
I did not ask him that. I did not ask him that. So yeah, he was pretty crazy though.
Yeah.
In hindsight, it's probably good they didn't come out with me. I probably would have lost him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it would have been my fault. He went missing.
Right.
Gary Busey. I don't know.
Yeah. He was here a minute ago, and
now
he's gone.
Now he's in the middle of Las Cruces, New Mexico somewhere, which is where we were. So, yeah, insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll see. Hopefully, I can grab something. I'll get back for you.
And you brought me that wonderful Napoleon Dynamite piece.
Yeah, I grabbed that in Houston a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Signed by Efren Ramirez, who plays Pedro,
right.
and John Heder, who plays Napoleon Dynamite. Double signed. A little bit about 16 by 20 poster.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Actually, it's a little oddly sized, which that is why I bring it to you. Can't Amazon a poster.
No. And plus,
it was like 13 and 3/4 by like 21 or something.
Yeah, it was some really weird size.
Yeah.
But I told my daughter Amanda. And she totally geeked out. She goes, "Oh, that's like one of my all-time favorite movies," So,
all right, next time I'll grab more.
Grab more. Yeah, but and so we're just busy, and we had some personal tragedy going on that's backed me up at the shop a little bit.
I heard.
Had a little bit of a house fire.
It was more than a little bit.
The whole basement was engulfed in flames, and we got a rude awakening at 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, the smoke detectors save lives, people. So check those batteries because it really the smoke detector went off, and I was annoyed at the time.
Sure.
Because it's most of the time when you hear the stupid smoke detector
false
going
alarm.
off, right? You're like, where the hell are
this time?
It's 1:30 in the morning. It's like, where the hell are those damn 9-volt batteries? Yeah. And I gotta go look for which one is chirping. And this time,
it was not a false alarm. Your house was actually on fire.
Real. That's right. And I went downstairs in my boxer briefs and I went, I'm looking downstairs and everything's all full of smoke. And I was like, this ain't good. So, and I saw that the smoke was coming from underneath the basement door. And what are you not supposed to do?
Well, you're not supposed to open that door.
Right.
Because things can explode or
right.
things can come out. I mean, if I remember school correctly, you're supposed to touch the doorknob, right?
Right. All the things they teach you in Backdraft.
Do not open. Yeah, we've seen Ron Howard's Backdraft plenty of times.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I opened the door.
Okay.
I opened the door, just a crack, just a wee bit.
Okay.
Enough for a huge hot black cloud of smoke to hit me in the face. And I guess I was really lucky because it was like a knee-jerk reaction. I slammed the door real quick and said, "Okay, everybody up, get the hell out of the house." And I'm running back upstairs to get everybody out, and I grabbed my phone obviously because I got to dial 911. My daughter over here, she was the one grabs her 3 favorite stuffed animals.
Oh, okay, good. I was wondering, literally, there's asking the question, what do you grab in case of a fire?
I grabbed nothing. I grabbed my family to get them the hell out of the house. Good. She was like, which ones were your 3 favorite stuffed animals?
The baby, Candy Crush, and Rory. But I had them in my arms already. It was it was really weird because I never sleep with them. But that night, I just slept with them. And I had them all in my arms. And then we had to get out of the house.
You rescued them.
Yeah. And these are like 3 carnival prizes, basically. She's got like tons of...
I don't know about the baby one, though.
Yeah?
But but Candy Crush and Rory are both from Seaside Heights.
Okay. So...
Yeah. I was like, what are the 3 items you grabbed, right? So you just grabbed your phone.
You're right.
I grabbed my phone, too.
Probably my phone. It used to be my laptop. Everything's in the cloud now, so I don't have to worry about files anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But, speaking of collectibles, my cast sign Aliens poster would probably... I know exactly where that is.
Right.
My cast sign Back to the Future poster. It's all collectibles, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe the wedding album, right? Maybe.
Well, that was always my thing. Back in the day, I was like always thinking, what would I grab? I'd open the window. I'd throw. I have a big box of those old 8mm videos. That we shot all birthdays and whatever, and I said I would open the window and throw it as far away from the house as possible. I'd grab my teddy bear that my grandmother knitted for me that's filled with sawdust and the photo albums, but stuff that isn't in the cloud.
Right. But you took the safe route, which...
When your house is on fire, you go, just get the hell out, because I didn't know, so, but... and
as it turned out, the fire was contained in the basement.
In the basement,
okay.
And we were lucky. So it was started because everybody asks, how did it start? It was a high voltage arc between the cord of the refrigerator that we have down there. Everybody generally has a backup refrigerator for beer and Thanksgiving leftovers, and this refrigerator came with the house 25 years ago. And we wanted to get rid of it, but unfortunately, when we did the renovation, we basically built the house around the refrigerator. Couldn't get it out of the basement anymore.
Okay.
So it stayed down there, and but this is a cautionary tale. Everybody who has that refrigerator in their basement, please check it out.
Yeah.
Make sure that you go overkill. If you're using an extension cord, make sure that you go overkill with the extension cord. Because in the telling of this story, I've heard so many other people tell me that they have had house fires, but generally they keep their refrigerator in the garage. And the garage went up in flames.
Yeah.
And it all comes back to that stupid refrigerator. So... get rid of the damn fridge or upgrade your fridge because let me tell you,
spend $80 on a new one. Yeah,
I went right back to the shop and I had an old dorm refrigerator that my brother gave me, and I felt the back of it, and that compressor was searing hot, and I was like,
nope,
get that the hell out of here,
it's not gonna work. Yeah.
So I threw that right in the dumpster, and that was that. Yeah. But so now we were displaced for a while. I was living at the Molly Pitcher for two weeks while we got an apartment, and my oldest daughter was staying by her boyfriend's house. Emily and my wife were staying by one of her best friend's house. We had a lot of love from the community. People were throwing us their keys to
that's great,
their guest house, and here, stay here. You know what? If you want to go to Florida, cars in the driveway, get away from it all, and it's really I like to attribute that to good karma. You treat people wonderfully, and that love comes back to you.
For sure.
But so that was that. So now we're just in the holding pattern of
red tape,
insurance, and
adjusters.
Yeah. So and in the meantime, I'm making a wish list of what am I gonna do a little differently. So. But the house needed an upgrade, but
not like this.
Not like this. No,
not quite how you envisioned.
Not the way I wanted it to go. But it.
I mean, at least you guys are okay.
Yes,
right.
And actually, the best thing was, out of a worst case scenario, it was the best case scenario of a worst case scenario because the fire was totally contained to the basement.
Yeah.
And even though the beams were burned clear through, I mean, it was if it wasn't for, when I originally built the house, we put concrete board down in the kitchen, and then we put porcelain tile on top of that. So that really kind of stopped
suppressed
the fire from going any further. And so, even though we have really massive smoke damage in the house and it needs to be cleaned and the first floor needs to be gutted because they need to get at all the beams and everything, we were able to save all the stuff that I didn't run out of the house with, all my animation art and all the movies and the photo albums and just anything that, collectibles or whatever, all my wife's Barbie ornaments for the last 30-something years, she would have been devastated, but really it's, we were really lucky, and I was kind of sitting here going, I just have the worst luck, when this was happening, because I'm sitting there on the lawn going, I'm going to watch my house go up in flames,
right? Because
it takes a little while for the volunteer fire department to show up, and they did, and they were great. EMT was great. Middletown police always. I love those guys.
Yeah, big shout out to them.
Shout out to them. They are just makes all the police departments in the area. They all come to me to get their badges, retirement stuff done. But I always say to those guys, you guys are the main reason why we live in such a wonderful neighborhood.
Yeah, for sure.
But they were all there right on point, and the fire marshals were there, and so I was saying, oh, what terrible luck I've had, and I said, what, I'm gonna flip this. I'm gonna say this is the best luck because we got out, my family is safe. This could have gone horribly wrong, we didn't leave out of a burning, the flames weren't we weren't diving out of windows, and now when the house is redone, my kids don't have that image of, the main part of the house on fire. No. There was some smoke. For all a good minute, we've set off the smoke detectors before with somebody forgetting to put, take the toast out of the toaster, so we'll just end with that memory in our head, know. But if it was the other way around, I don't know that my wife would want to go back into the house, knowing that
bad memories.
The house, the couch was on fire or something, know. But anyway, check your refrigerators, everybody, and check your smoke.
Check your old appliances.
Yeah, all that stuff. You just get it out of there,
And check the batteries in your smoke.
And your smoke detectors. Yeah, twice a year. What?
I was gonna say. The thing that about the whole situation that was kind of confusing is why did it take so long for the thing to go off?
The smoke detector?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
By the time it went off, the whole thing was already destroyed.
Well, it wasn't all destroyed, but I don't exactly know. I mean, it did do its job. It woke us up, and maybe it was going off in the basement first, or in the first floor first, and then it transferred because it's all hardwired together. Yeah. So, but I don't know. Look, don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah.
You got out and you got all your stuffed animals and everything. So you wanted to keep that, but yeah. So that's why I'm a little behind at the shop, and because
I was I'm never in a hurry because I'm never home.
Yeah,
and last thing got finished. It's hello, it's done. You can come pick it up now. I'm I'm in Alaska. I'll be
right.
I'll be in and then 2 months later I show up. So
yeah. But you're awesome, and so are all the guys. You know, all the guys are super cool. You know, that come in.
Yeah, you're the go-to guy.
Yeah,
even Brian Johnson, the hardened, rough edge Brian Johnson, is as much as on Comic Con he didn't seem like he cared about anything.
Yeah,
he's brought some pretty cool pieces in.
Yeah, he has, and you have a Brian Johnson story.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead. Tell the story.
Q?
Yeah.
Oh, I got confused. He said Johnson. I didn't know.
Brian Johnson is Q's best friend.
Oh, because they're both Brian, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I was confused.
So what happened? You were sitting there in the chair.
I was sitting in the chair in your shop, and your friend came in. And he started asking me about like Impractical Jokers and like who my favorite Joker was, and then I was like talking to him about that, and then all of a sudden, he goes, I think he said like, do you want to meet him or something?
Oh, you said what's your favorite Joker?
Oh yeah, well he did say that, and then he called or he FaceTime
Q.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But yeah,
I love that Q's just on call. For any fans that Brian Johnson runs into.
Yeah, and she's like sitting there, and of course you know who was pissed off about that, right? My oldest daughter.
Yes, I know she's a big fan as well.
She was like, I mean, you were so cool. You literally gave her the shirt off your back.
I did get it was Impractical Joker's hoodie I got at the premiere, but to be fair, I got too fat for it, so it's by all means it's hers. Yeah.
So hold on a second. Let me see if I
can. It was a touch too tight. I'm like, I'll pass this on. It's the least I could do.
Yeah. So she loved it, and that was actually her 21st birthday.
Yep.
One of her presents. But so fast forward. So she's sitting there, and she's like, she can't believe she's FaceTiming with Q, and so then fast forward to like a week later, and we're sitting there on the couch, and we're watching Impractical Jokers, and Q's the big loser, and he's got to like stay 24 hours in a zoo cage or something like that, and we're watching it, and you might have been sick.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like where Brian Johnson.
Yeah, and they were like, and she's like, she was more excited now to see Brian Johnson. Yeah,
as you should be.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, Daddy, that's the guy that was in your shop. You know, so she was excited. So yeah, so Brian is a rock star in our
Brian
shop.
And Brian.
Brian.
That was the highlight of last year.
Yes, yeah.
So. But Brian's awesome, and I share his love of horror films, and we chat at length when he comes into the shop, and he has quite the collection at his house of cool things. I think he has a bunch of Chucky dolls and stuff like that.
Chucky dolls, like Jaws memorabilia.
Yes, big Jaws.
Big horror film fan.
Yeah. So so that was that, and then what else? We're just, building onto the shop a little bit. You're trying to get things organized and getting ready for the holiday season going in, because I just know that one of the schools is going to bring me another large quantity of things for all their athletic program, and that keeps me busy. And I'm just really fortunate after 20-something years that, it's just the kind of the shop is already kind of like self-feeding itself. I don't do much advertising, no,
like this is it. This podcast, like
this is it.
It's all word of mouth, man.
I used to, seriously.
We send everybody over to you.
It's amazing. I ask people how they find the shop when they come in. They're like, I drive by the shop 3 or 4 times a day, and even though I might not have anything, I always say I'm gonna get in there one day, and and people are just awesome. So I'm really grateful. It's a great. We live in such a great neighborhood. with all the stuff that's around us, and Netflix is going to be moving in. I can only imagine what that's going to be like in the next.
They're going to need framing, I imagine.
They're going to need framing. Oh, here's another story. Okay, let's talk about this. So there's a knock on my door, and there's a girl that shows up, and we're sitting there. This was during dinner, and I'm sitting there talking to her for like 15, 20 minutes. And finally, I go back to the dinner table, and my wife is like, "So who the hell was that?"
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, that was Paramount Plus at our door, and they want to pay us to use our driveway to power the Mean Girls musical set
really?
that's in back of our house."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're shooting in your neighborhood?
They were shooting in our neighborhood. Yeah. So they used Modern Day as the high school.
Yeah, the Catholic high school.
Yeah, and
locally where they shot the movie.
Right. And so they left the rig in our driveway for almost a month.
They literally just need an outlet.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. They need an outlet, run some wires.
And you got paid for it.
And we got paid for it, and we in the right in back of my house in the cul-de-sac, they were filming back there, and we could see it every single night, and I was kind of like, I felt like I had a little bit of Hollywood in my backyard.
I mean, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you literally did.
It was so cool, and then when they were gone, I kind of felt the loss, But as that was happening, I got phone calls, and they said, "Oh, do you do next day framing?" And I said, I can. And they go,
"Oh, from Paramount?"
Yeah.
Oh.
And so
they found out, the word spreads. Like, oh man, that guy's a really good framer.
They just called me out of the blue, I think, and
I was like, for you, yeah, I can.
Well, I didn't know what it was. They didn't say what it was for.
Okay.
So I said, "Well, what do you need? I said, "I can get stuff done for you," and so she comes in, and she's the set decorator, or the location manager, one of them. I dealt with so many people. So she goes, "Well, we're filming a movie," and I'm kind of playing coy because
it's like, "Oh my god!"
I was like "Yeah, like really? What
wow.
what movie is that?" And she goes,
"Any famous people?"
Yeah, Mean Girls the musical. I said, "Yeah, I kind of knew that." Right. She goes, "Why?" I said, "Well, I'm powering the set." And she goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, the rig is in my driveway right now powering Chenoweth Court."
Yeah, you don't have to be so secretive.
Yeah. So she goes, "Wow, so you're already getting paid," she said. And I said, "Yeah." So she goes, "Okay, this is what we need." So I framed like a bunch of stuff for the girls' room, the main girls' room.
Oh, so you're part of the production design.
Right, yeah.
Amazing.
I almost asked for a credit in the movie as picture. Has there ever been a picture framing credit?
I don't believe I've ever seen that.
Yeah, that would have been so cool. But
it should be a standard thing,
right?
Where the framer gets credit.
Yeah. So the last thing I did was these huge Andy Warhol headshots of the main girl. And her mom, and I had to get them done next day. Yeah. So I was jumping through hoops, and then I shot a little video of them picking them up, and she said you can't really say anything until
the movie comes out.
And then when so we're sitting there on the couch watching the Golden Globes, and what do you call it? And the first time I see the trailer for Mean Girls the musical, the main shot is with them on a balcony of the house that they're having the party at, with my artwork, just big as life, hanging. And I'm like, I jumped up off the couch.
How big are we talking here?
Oh, they were like, 36 by 36.
Right, so big, yeah.
They were big, because they
3 feet.
Yeah, and they were big and colorful. And I was like, that's my art on the big screen.
I did that.
I did that.
I'm awesome.
Yeah. So I didn't say I was awesome.
That's cool.
But,
well, I mean, hey man, if they start shooting more stuff here, you could expect more business.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I get a thrill out of that stuff, and so that was a nice nod of them using me, and so yeah, that was fun. And then but what was funny was, I always say that there's a little bit of kind of magic in, and this is no lie, because people will come in and bring something, and then 3 people will bring the same thing, or childhood friends will meet at my counter. But I was literally sitting here at the counter doing something, thinking, how can I tap in to this Hollywood thing where I could be the framer. And I swear to you, not 3 minutes later, the phone rang with those people giving me business for that.
Yeah.
So it was just there's magic. I have a little cutout thing that I keep over my computer at the shop. I say magic happens here, and it's the truth. I could almost cry. I should keep a log of the random crazy coincidences that happen on a daily basis. I could just mention somebody off the top of my head that I hadn't seen in a really long time.
Come in.
And they'll walk in.
Yeah.
They'll walk in cold. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
But that was that. And again, just keeping busy, working, getting stuff out the door, and running out every once in a while, trying to find a happy work and home life. The other night we went to go see Kelsey Grammer. I was hanging out with your good friend CJ.
So, Kelsey Grammer has a faith-based brewery.
Yes.
What's it called?
It's called Faith.
Oh, Faith.
Faith IPA.
Oh,
yeah.
Faith, just called Faith?
Yeah.
That's nice and to the point.
Yeah.
And he did a tap takeover at our local place.
He was manning the tap.
Jack's Goal Line Stand in Long Branch, New Jersey.
Yeah. And then I heard after that at 8 o'clock he was at shout out to Jack's, by the way, because they were just
accommodating.
Oh my
you guys
God!
got photos with them. And
They really.
Did he pour you a beer?
Oh yes, he did.
Nice.
My wife has the video.
How's his pour?
He's got it down.
Like no bit, like not over foamy.
No, not too foamy.
Okay,
not too foamy.
Okay.
And ironically,
does he bless it before he gives it over to you?
No, he doesn't.
It's like okay, here you go, my son.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not a big IPA. I like the ales, so Ross makes a nice IPA. Some kind of nice hearty beer. But I said whatever is on par with like an ale. I said so. He poured me a nice ale. I took my cue from CJ Cullen. He said this is what I'm drinking. I said all right, give me the same thing.
Yeah.
So the place was crowded like crazy.
Yeah.
And what was funny is I asked my wife, I said, hey, I want to see if we can go meet Kelsey Grammer tonight. And my wife was like, maybe I'll go.
You'd have been like, hey, we can go meet Sideshow Bob. Like,
yeah. So I got all kinds of things printed out before I went. I got a Sideshow Bob thing. He was Vladimir.
Yeah.
In
was he signing?
So he really wasn't.
Okay.
And I asked CJ, I said, have you seen him sign anything? He goes, not really. He goes, I think he's just here to promote the beer. And I was like, so my luck always runs cold when it comes time to meeting and getting in there.
But,
so
and bring it just in case.
Yeah. So we're standing at the end of the bar, and the place was packed.
Yeah.
Like packed, and it was raining that day, pouring. I was like, it's either going to be packed or it's going to be empty, Right. And it was jam packed. So so we go there, and I'm like, there's no place to even belly up to the bar, and doing what we do, we know a lot of people, right?
Sure.
You know everybody more than I do, and I see CJ sitting at the end of the bar over there, and I had just seen him at the Deadpool Wolverine thing that Kevin was doing at Smod Castle. And so I'm like, I said to my wife, I go, I think I see somebody that I know. Let's go over there, and we start talking. And I go, dude, you always get like front row, and he's like literally front row. He's at the end of the bar.
Well, he's a teacher, so he had nothing better to do.
So
and I was supposed to join him, but I had a podcast.
Yeah. He told me he was like, he goes.
Last second
was supposed
booking.
to be yeah. So you got but you're dedicated. See, you
work first.
Turn down a good time to be responsible.
Sure.
That's who Ming is.
Right.
Okay. So we get there, and we're waiting, and there is Kelsey right in front of us, and he's taking selfies and talking to people, and we're the very next people, and they take him away, and we don't get to meet him.
Oh.
So I was like,
oh.
So I said, do we just stand here? Will he come back? And we waited, and I'm talking to CJ, and we wait like 10, 15 minutes, and now he's on the other side of the restaurant because they have two bar sections.
Yeah.
And so I said, you know what? Let's go over there and wait. And Kelsey was working. He's talking and pouring beers and everything. So I had my beer because I got one after Kelsey left, and so I drank it. I'm sitting there and we're talking, and my wife is standing there. And we meet a woman from EMAC, from Eastern Mama Chamber of Commerce, and we're talking with her, and she gets my wife a glass, an empty glass. So my wife, who's a lot prettier than I am, let's put it, mildly, she raises her glass, and Kelsey comes over.
Yeah.
And then I get a refill, and she gets a refill, and another. He brings 3 of them up to us, and that's when I do the, and what I had seen was, I seen that is a GalaxyCon where you can mail in stuff too.
Sure, yep.
And he's on there, so I know he signs.
Right.
So that's why I brought the stuff for him to sign, and so. I was like, I'm not going to bother him if he's not signing. I don't want to be that jerk. But somebody pulled out a Cheers mug that he signed, and then somebody handed him a baseball and he signed it. And I was like, he's signing. He's being really nice.
Yeah.
So I said, all right. So when he gave me my beer, I pulled out one photograph, and the photograph I had him sign was Captain Bateman, where he was captain of the USS Bozeman on Star Trek Next Gen, and he looks at it and he's like, kind of like, of course, or whatever, like, this is so random.
It's very random, yeah.
Because he was on that episode for all of 3 minutes at the end,
Still, Star Trek.
Star Trek, and I said, my brother is going to be so jealous, and because he was at Creation 57 out in Las Vegas at the time, and
Star Trek,
and
the big Star Trek con, but
and I didn't get to go because of the fire and the store being so busy. So he was like, "How on earth did you make this happen?" Because it's cool to get the Star Trek stuff, but the more random and the more obscure it is. So he signed it, and I asked him. I went for the whole thing, and I said, would you sign that? I'm listening. Yeah. Because of the Fraser, Fraser, Dr. Fraser Crade, and he looks at it, he goes, no.
Okay.
And I was like, I tried.
The line?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it would have been a Star Trek Fraser Crane, crossover piece, because he's sitting in the chair and you can see the back of Patrick Stewart as Picard, and he's talking to him. And I would have thought that was such a great thing to say, I'm listening, But he signed a very nice, clear Kelsey Grammer. And I was very, and he took pictures. So he takes pictures with my wife, and my wife always looks really great with these stars. She looks like she belongs on their arm. And we get home, or we're driving home, and she goes, "I am so excited." She goes, "Out of anybody in the entire world that I could meet," literally, she said this.
Yeah.
It was Kelsey Grammer.
Oh.
I just love him.
Fraser is my favorite.
And I was like, really? Because you were kind of shining me on.
It's
like I could care less if I go or if I don't. And here it is. I like made your year.
Right.
And she's like, I can't, after 30-something years of marriage, we finished each other's sentences, and we basically know what, but she throws me like that all the time. But that was a great night. It was the perfect.
You get that
night.
sign. You got the photo. Like, do you immediately go back and frame it?
No, you would think, right? But it's.
I guess even like I could do this whenever I want.
It's in the folder of like things that to do. Yeah, because now that we're redoing the house, I'm going to be framing a lot more things. Like I've got a huge shag artwork collection, as you know, because you picked up a couple of pieces for me.
I did.
I got this great Eric Tan Haunted Mansion thing that I met him at the Disney Art and what do they call that? Food and Art Expo this year, and I took a picture with him when we were chatting, and then I didn't realize that I'm going to buy an awesome print from Cyclops. Yeah. And I've got to frame that and hang it in the house. But I've got all this great artwork that I really need to frame up and hang around the house. And so that's gonna happen. But it's like I'm the shoemaker with holes in the shoes. Right. I never get to do any of my own stuff.
Yeah.
But and then I got to clean and change all the backing papers because it's got all that smoke smell to it and of the stuff that I do have hanging. And So that's it. It's been a busy year, and hopefully next time we talk, I'll have a better update of things that are going on. There's going to be a big hopefully a housewarming party, and invite you to stop by.
Okay,
if you're in town.
Yeah, don't call it a housewarming party.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a house welcoming party.
Yeah, okay, that's better. Yeah, the house already
marshmallows not welcome.
Right.
No.
Don't call it a housewarming party. House was already warm.
Yeah. So, but that's it. So, we'll see. We'll see. Now that I feel like summer's over, and I was kind of wishing my summer away because we're in a rental house right now, and it's really weird not to be in your own home.
Yeah.
And you never think you're going to be homeless, but it can happen to you. But again, good karma, good people, good friends.
Well, I'm glad you guys are all right.
Yeah.
And didn't lose.
It didn't lose
a bunch of
lose anything really. Stuff that I was going to throw out.
Crappy fridge.
Yeah. Seriously, it's going to be nice to haul that stupid thing out of there.
Yeah.
But and the frame shop is my happy place. I go. It's my norm. It's I'm not living in my house, but the frame shop is still my happy spot. And I get to do what I love, and that's the thing, when you come to Revere Picture Framing, you come to me and people bring me stuff, and I'm like, this is so cool, and I get it. I get really excited. What did somebody come in the other day with? And it was so random, and I totally knew what it was, and she was like, I can't believe you know that, and now I'm drawing a blank. But the people do bring me really, really random stuff, and when then they know they're in the right spot.
Yep. Yep.
Geez, it really annoys me. This is where I'm having a senior moment. I'm not that fast on the Jeopardy button anymore.
Understand completely.
Yeah. But it'll come to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got that clip of Brian. There, I sent it to you. I don't know if you're able to upload that to show that cool thing.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. So it was like a 37-second clip of Brian at the shop. But yeah. So Brian's been there. Walt has been there. Mike has been there. Kevin's been in the shop. You've been in there a bunch of times. It's just been Jeff Anderson has been in the shop.
Yeah.
It's great. I think I thoroughly represent the View Askew universe.
For sure.
With all
sure.
This.
We all got it from Kevin. When Kevin set up his office in the 90s, I remember I went in there. He framed everything.
Yeah.
Everything hit every article that came out about him. He had it framed.
Right.
Anything, any display of him, he had it framed. And I'm like, that's cool. That's a cool idea.
That is.
I
look around the studio of all the super cool stuff. I framed a lot of it. I see the Carrie Fisher piece
sure.
that was an awesome story behind that.
The Karate Kid one behind me over here. The tournament poster.
Yep. The
Comic Book Man over there.
Yeah.
The King of the Hill over here.
Yep. The Leon.
Leon the Professional.
The Professional. I geeked out over that one.
Yeah,
That one was really super cool. But yeah, there's so many cool things that I'm the Band of Brothers over there. Everything.
A lot of good stuff here.
The Agents of Shield. That's the one that we contacted Mike for.
Yeah, Mike D'Alessio. Thank you for that piece. He dropped it off and never came back to pick it up.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't think I can sell that to you.
Yeah, and I was like, here, hang on. And I texted him. Like, hey man, you were gonna pick this up? He's like, it's yours.
Yeah. There's more signatures on that piece than there are people in the
the producers on there, like Jep Loeb was on there.
That's just such an awesome piece. I have that hanging in my shop as well. So, but
thank you, Michael.
Yeah. So that's it. So as always, I'll give a shout out to our good friend Stu Greenberg. Stu Greenberg, and the one
of your best customers.
Yes. Yeah. He's awesome. We met at season 7 comic book men at Jamian's,
Yep.
you know, and it just went on from there. But that's I think we'll wrap it there. Again,
Cool.
if anybody within my silky voice is in earshot, if you're looking for a great place to get things framed, shadow boxes, jerseys, retirement badges for police, firemen. Concert posters, and anything you could possibly think of.
Yeah.
Bring it to me.
1741 Highway 35, Middletown, New Jersey, right by the ShopRite's shopping center.
That's right.
The Wendy's and all that big stuff.
If
over
you've
there.
gone past the giant bowling pin on Middletown North, you've gone too far.
Right.
So, 732-687-2700. So this has been George from Revere Picture Framing with my number 2 banana over here, Emily, who's been very talkative, but she did tell her Brian Johnson.
Yes, good story.
Q story. So thanks again, Ming. It's always great being here. All right.
Thank you guys.
Till next time.
All right. Frame on.
Frame on.